All right, let's get right into it. If you're in IT support, your browser is basically your command center, right? But what if it could be, well, so much more? Today, we're going to look at 5 Chrome extensions that will absolutely transform how you debug, diagnose, and solve tickets. We're talking about turning your browser from just a simple tool into a full-on debugging powerhouse.
Seriously, think about it for a second. How much of your day is spent inside Chrome? You're looking at user issues, you're testing APIs, you're trying to reproduce some really weird bugs. The thing is, most engineers are barely scratching the surface of what their browser can actually do. We're about to change that. So, here's the game plan. We're going to arm you with 5 extensions that are basically secret weapons. First, we'll talk about tools for decoding all that chaotic data you have to deal with every day. Then, we'll jump into tools that let you take direct control of browser sessions. And to top it all off, we'll put everything together and solve a real-world support ticket in just a few minutes. Let's do this. First up, let's tackle one of the biggest headaches. Just plain, messy data and completely unknown environments. These first 2 tools are all about bringing instant clarity to that chaos, so you can actually understand what you're even looking at.
Oh, you know this feeling. We've all been there. You're trying to debug an API, you open the response, and boom, you're staring at a giant, unreadable wall of text. Just a single minified line of JSON that scrolls forever. Trying to find anything in that mess isn't just hard, it's a colossal waste of time.
And here is the instant fix: JSON Formatter. The second you install this, that wall of text just transforms. Suddenly, it's this beautifully structured, color-coded, readable format. You've got syntax highlighting, you can collapse and expand sections to focus on what matters, and any URLs in the data are now clickable. It's so simple, but it will save you so many headaches.
Okay, on to the next common scenario. A user sends in a ticket, the problem's on their website, but you have no clue what it's built with. Is it a WordPress site, a custom React app, Shopify? Without knowing that, you're basically stuck before you even start. Meet Woppalizer. This thing is like having X-ray vision for any website. With just one click, it tells you everything: the CMS, the JavaScript frameworks, what server software it's running, even the analytics tools. It is the crucial first step to understanding the environment you're walking into, letting you tailor your troubleshooting from second one. So how does it pull this off? Well, Woppalizer is basically a digital detective. It looks for clues everywhere. It scans the HTTP headers for server info, it peeks at the JavaScript objects loaded in the browser, it checks the HTML for certain tags, and it even looks at the names of cookies. By piecing all these clues together, it gives you a super accurate profile of the site's entire tech stack. All right, so we figured out how to decode the chaos. Now let's switch gears from just observing things to actually intervening. This next batch of tools gives you direct control over the browser session, so you can start manipulating the data that's being sent back and forth. Okay, here's a classic time waster. You need to check if a bug only happens for a regular user, but not for an admin. The old way, you log out, clear your cache, log back in with the other account, and you do this over and over again. It's slow, it's tedious, and it's just a terrible way to spend your day. And this is where Edit This Cookie becomes your new best friend. It's an amazing cookie manager that lets you see, edit, and delete any cookie right in your browser. So instead of logging in and out, you can just change the value of the session cookie and instantly become a different user. You can even have a user export their cookies and send them to you so you can import them and replicate their exact session. Game changer.
Let's build on that. What if you're not dealing with cookies? What if the app uses an authorization header with, say, a bearer token? You need to test a protected API endpoint, but you really don't want to go through the whole complex login flow every single time just to get a new token.
Mod Header makes this ridiculously easy. It's a simple extension that lets you add or change HTTP request headers on the fly. You just tell it the header name, like authorization, you paste in the token, and that's it. Every request you make from then on will have that header. It's perfect for testing APIs, faking a different device with the user agent header, or even getting around certain developer roadblocks. Okay, we've covered decoding data and manipulating sessions. Now it's time to bring out the big gun. The final tool in our main arsenal is the most powerful of them all. It combines what the others do and then adds a whole new layer of network control on top. Everybody meet Requestly. Look, if Mod Header is like a precision scalpel, then Requestly is the full-featured Swiss Army knife.
It's a true HTTP interceptor. It doesn't just let you modify requests as they leave your browser. It lets you catch and change the responses as they're coming back from the server. The things you can do with Requestly are just incredible. You can, for instance, redirect a request for a production JavaScript file to one that's running on your own computer so you can test a fix on the live site. You can completely fake an API response to see how your app handles a weird error state without anyone changing the backend. You can even inject your own custom code into a site to try out a quick fix. It's the ultimate tool for heavy-duty debugging. So theory is one thing, but let's see how all of this actually works in the real world. We're going to take a super common support ticket and see if we can solve it in just a couple of minutes using our new toolkit. And here it is, the ticket. It's vague, it's frustrating, it could be anything. A user can't access the admin panel. They just see a blank white page. No error message, nothing. All right, let's start the clock.
Okay, step 1, what are we even dealing with here? We click the Woppalizer icon, and instantly we know the site is built with React. That is a massive clue. It means it's a single-page app, so a blank screen is almost certainly a client-side JavaScript error, not a server problem. We have already narrowed our search by a huge margin. Step 2, let's check the user's session. We open up Edit This Cookie, we see the session cookie is there, but hold on. The value looks wrong. It looks like it's corrupted, or maybe it's in an old, outdated format. This is a really strong lead. The React app is probably trying to parse this bad cookie, failing, and then crashing before it can show anything. This leads us right to a very clear hypothesis. A recent update probably got rid of the old cookie system and now requires a proper authorization header. The user's old cookie is still there and it's causing a conflict. So let's test that theory. We'll fire up mod header and inject a valid auth token right into the request header. And just like that, we're in. We hit refresh, mod header adds the new auth token for us, and the admin panel loads perfectly. We didn't just find the root cause of the bug. We now have a foolproof way to reproduce it for the dev team. And the whole investigation took, less than 3 minutes? That's what I'm talking about. So let's do a quick recap of your new debugging arsenal. You've got JSON formatter to make data readable, Woppalizer to know the tech stack instantly, Edit This Cookie to take control of session states, mod header to tweak your request headers, and Requestly for when you need to intercept absolutely everything. Together, this is a seriously powerful toolkit for any support engineer. So the only real question left is, are you ready to upgrade your workflow? These tools are free, they're easy to install, and they will immediately make your job easier. So go on, get them installed, and turn your browser into the powerful debugging workstation it was always meant to be.